Hello YouTube, my name is Nick Leininger, and this is my sketchbook tour. This is actually an older sketchbook. I've been wanting to do a tour of it for a while now, I just never really had the time. It's from August 2017 to October 2017, and let's just get into it. So this is the first image. It's just a quick little sketch doodle of a couple of my characters. Here we have some character outfit designs. On this page over here I have just some sketches for a comic that I'm working on that I actually need to continue working on because I haven't worked on it in a while. This is some character art again. This is Ian and Adrian. Over here it's the same two characters from the first page, Avanessa and Myrna. They're my favorites. Here we have a little gouache thing that I did. I'm actually not super happy with this one. It's very dark and desaturated. I might go in and try to fix it up, but Avanessa again. A bunch of these you might have seen on my Instagram, and if you're not following me on Instagram, you should check it out. It's Nicola Draws Stuff. Just a little study for trying to draw environments and some dialogue that I wanted to remember between my boyfriend and I. Here I have a few little thumbnails for a piece I did. This one's also on my Instagram. I was trying to do that witchy monthly art challenge. I did exactly one piece for it, and it was the little draw an altar, so I drew a little altar. Some more Avanessa stuff. I was trying to do a character expression sheet. I'm horrible at these, and I need to work on them more. And over here I have more Avanessa. This one's supposed to be more of an age progression type thing. I can't draw children, if you can't tell. Here I have a failed attempt at what's going to be a piece that I show you on the next page. And then I decided that I couldn't just dive straight into it, so I did a couple little thumbnails and sketched out larger detailed versions of things that I was going to have in there. And then that turned into this, which I am incredibly proud of and love dearly. I also did a little color swatch over here and how to draw the hands, because, you know, it's easier if you've done it already. Here I have some little, I drew a boot and the outfit that this character is wearing. Here's an example of me going through an art rut. I drew the same image twice before I got something that I even remotely liked, and then I decided that I hated it and never finished it. Over here we've got what my desk setup used to be like, a couple bottles, a little painting thing. My second monitor was on a stack of books. It still is, it's just over there now. I have a completely different setup. You can see my tablet and my little tablet pen and my actual computer. Here I have a little gouache study of a cat skull. Just some messing around with a pen. I believe it's actually the Pentel brush pen. I was trying to decide if I liked it or hated it. I think I hate it. I'm not very good with brush pens, so... This is another character of mine. His name is Meal. This was around the time the Inktober started, so I was starting to mess around more with ink. This is a failed attempt at a drawing. It didn't come out too terrible, but I decided I hated it, so I redid it, and I like the second result much better. Failed attempt. This is the actual drawing of it. This was day 2. I can't remember what the prompt was anymore, but there you go. This was day 3 of Inktober. I'm actually really proud of this one. And over here I just did some shiny blue ink to cover up something I hated. This was day 4. I actually redrew this later on in the sketchbook just as a little doodle, and I like the pose that I drew it in much better. I never lined the redraw, but as you can see, I mess up a lot in my sketchbooks, and I'm not exactly afraid to show that because it shows progress. Here is a little ram skull with some thistles on a gold background. I used the Finetech Gold paints for it, which I absolutely adore. I love those. Here is one of my boyfriend's characters. Her name is Nadine. Oh, here's a piece I'm really proud of. I did a couple little thumbnails to try to see how I wanted to get the hair done on it. And then, again, I used the Finetech Gold. I used that a lot this Inktober. I never finished Inktober, but on the pieces that I did do, I used that. And this sketchbook is actually handmade, which is why some of it isn't exactly perfect. I made it myself. Here's just a few sketches that I never finished, a little pinup pose. This is actually a piece that I want to finish at some point. It's an angel with, like, swords sticking out of its chest. It's kind of inspired by the Ten of Swords card from Tarot decks. Here's maybe my favorite piece in this entire book. This was another Inktober piece, and I'm just incredibly pleased with all the detail that I managed to get into it, especially in the hair and this dress. This piece is kind of meh. I really like how this half of it came out, but not so much this half, because this character, Jamie, is missing an arm, and I didn't take that into account when I was originally drawing it, so I messed up and didn't get the pose right. Oops. I think this is actually the last Inktober piece I did. It's a little cat peeking out from behind a pumpkin. I thought it was cute. It was something really simple and easy. I'd had a long day and I didn't want to do anything else. I was trying to mess around with my watercolors and, you know, see if I could do some washes. I forget what it's called. Glazing, that's what it's called. I was trying to do glazing on this piece to get the right color for her hair, and it just did not turn out. And so I kind of gave up on it. This is my character, Vel. He's one of my favorites. I was kind of going through a little bit of a funk here, so you can see my voicing my disapproval at how poorly I was drawing. Here's a page that actually turned out pretty well. This one got posted, this one didn't, because I was much more happy with this one. The nose on this one is a little wonky and the lips are too small, in my opinion. Unfinished gouache sketch. Here I was just doodling some birds, and I did a little light ball thing. This is kind of what I do when I'm bored. I just doodle around. I ended up not liking the pose I was doing this in. It felt too unnatural, so I gave up on it. Another bird, another pose I hated. Here's a little pin-up that I did of my character Araya, and here's actually the finished version of the piece that I was on the previous page that I didn't like the pose for. I'm actually very happy with how this pose came out, and how the outfit looks in general. A little gouache sketch of my character Lee with my boyfriend's character Jamie. This is a little cat skull that I doodled outside a tattoo shop on Friday the 13th. I actually didn't end up getting my Friday the 13th tattoo because I had to go to work, but that was actually a huge disappointment. Over here was when I got a really neat little glass pen. I actually have that right here. It I love this thing. I never use it, but that was me doodling around with it right there. Little practice setup for a piece I ended up doing. I don't think I actually liked how it came out. That's actually on this page. I liked how his pose came out, but I didn't like how she came out, so I only lined him, and then I messed up on the lining, and it's just horrible. Then I actually ended up drawing this piece in upside down. But it's my character, Vanessa, with the, I believe it's called Hanahaki disease. It's where the unrequited love, you're coughing up flower petals thing. So, here's one of my other favorite pieces from the sketchbook. It's a little gouache painting I did, and it's a little guy on a boat on a river. You can't really tell that it's a boat, which is the only downfall of it, but other than that, I really love this piece. And here's the aforementioned redraw of that scene. I really like this angle better. Here we go. I was messing around with some charcoal here. We're very close to the end of the book. I was just messing around with some charcoal, doodling. Myrna. I believe this is Jacob Lee on YouTube. He's a singer. I was just watching one of his videos and doodled him. This is the YouTuber Karatama. I don't know her actual name. I'll link in the description, but I really enjoy her music, so I drew her while I was listening to it. Some little sketches. This is a doodle of my friend Andrew. Another pin-up pose of Vanessa I really enjoy. Let's just not talk about this page. Just some doodles. This was a little thumbnail for this page. And over here I was actually comparing the heights of these characters and the body shapes. Jamie is very tall and thin, Lee is kind of short and stocky, and then Neil is just small. He's just small. And then I did the little thumbnail, and this is the triad. They're the main characters of a book that I'm writing with my boyfriend, and not the last page in this book, but probably the last good one. This was, again, me messing around with the Pentel Pocket Brush Pen. I find it really difficult to get solid lines with it because I like to draw very quickly, and the Pentel Pocket Brush Pen kind of requires you to slow down and think about what you're doing, which I'm not very good at. Kind of a little self-doodle. I didn't quite like how it turned out. It doesn't look exactly like me. The nose is off. And that's the end of that sketchbook. Thank you guys so much for listening to me ramble on about my drawings, and if you like this video, go ahead and like and subscribe. Check me out on Instagram and Tumblr under Nicola Draws Stuff, and that'll be about it. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.